Welcome to Ethiopia Today. Our today's presentation focuses on the Ethiopian Embassy's decisive response to the New York Times disinformation. We invite you to stay tuned and follow us till the end. Like and share the video and support the channel so that we reach out to more audience as much we can. First-time visitors, please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Then you won't miss out very important and the exciting videos we bring to you. Let's get into the presentation. The Ethiopian Embassy in the US decisively responded to the New York Times disinformation. What's so devious about the latest report by New York Times is that it masquerades as objective, but deliberately twists some key facts, while purposely omitting others in order to artificially manufacture a false perception of resumption of the fighting in the northern Ethiopia, says political analyst Andrew. The report entirely blames the federal government for everything. Casual news consumers might therefore easily be misled into falling for this latest information warfare provocation, hence the importance of the Ethiopian Embassy in the US responding as decisively as it did, he adds. The New York Times spread disinformation about the latest phase of the Ethiopian conflict in its recent piece titled "Fighting Erupts in Northern Ethiopia, Shattering Ceasefire," which prompted the Ethiopian Embassy in the US to decisively respond in a statement shared on its official Twitter account so as to set the record straight. The Ethiopia's diplomats reminded everyone the government's commitment to hold African Union-led peace talks anywhere, about any subject, and at any time without preconditions. The embassy also took issue with that outlet omitting any mention of the TPLF's responsibility for starting the conflict in November 2020 after their long-planned and coordinated sneak attack on the northern command of the Ethiopian National Defense Forces based in Mekelle. Building upon that, another of the Ethiopia's diplomats' contentions was that the New York Times falsely framed the conflict as having personally been commenced by Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed out of supposed malice for his political opponents. The Ethiopian Embassy in the US then drew a sharp contrast between the country's universally recognized and democratically elected government's progressive partnership with the UN's World Food Programme (WFP) and the TPLF's latest raid against one of its warehouses that was condemned by that global body. The embassy then concluded by warning that inaccuracies like those presented on August 24 by the media outlet risk emboldening further aggression in Ethiopia and other parts of the world where democracy is under threat, before reaffirming that the New York Times' audience deserves to know the truth about the conflict in the country. Taken together, the embassy's response can accurately be described as decisive since it concisely corrected the record by sharing objectively existing and easily verifiable facts with that outlet's audience, who might otherwise have unquestionably extended credence to the New York Times' artificially manufactured narrative and thus falsely thought that Ethiopia's federal government was to blame for everything. The reality is that this multipolar and historically diverse civilization state has been victimized by a joint US and Egyptian-led but TPLF-driven hybrid war of terror as punishment for its principled neutrality in the new Cold War between the West's Golden Billion and the BRICS-led Global South, Andrew explains. In fact, the latest round of fighting was once again initiated by the TPLF at its patron's behest to punish Ethiopia for its summer of success. Since the hot stage of this pre-planned conflict began almost 2 years ago, the dual American and Egyptian masterminds have relied immensely on information warfare to manipulate the global audience about its dynamics. From falsely alleging that a so-called genocide was taking place in the Tigray region to recently claiming that the Ethiopian Air Force bombed a kindergarten full of kids inside despite the school season having not yet begun, and being stopped entirely in that region since the conflict started. Everything pushed about the central government by those two perpetrators and their media proxies has been nothing but lies. It therefore naturally follows that the New York Times would also participate in this dimension of the hybrid war by virtue of its global influence in shaping the narrative. Seeing as how such hybrid war of terror on Ethiopia probably won't end anytime soon, since its perpetrators refuse to let that multipolar civilization state peacefully develop according to the vision of its democratically elected leadership, more such fake news and consequence responses should be expected in the coming future, according to Andrew. It is vital, therefore, to proactively and harmoniously provide appropriate responses that reflect the truth on the ground at the right time and on the right platforms. The Ethiopian war news has been given significant coverage by the West's mainstream media outlets, mostly in a negative way. The media war has been more powerful and destructive than the battle on the ground. We don't think that Ethiopians would forget the damaging impacts of the disinformation during the previous rounds of fighting. Let's feed the truth to the international community and fight against any such false narratives. Obviously, Ethiopia as a nation has faced with challenges. Having already overcome multifaceted obstacles so far, the country is rising, and on its final juncture, whenever there is war, Ethiopians always come out victoriously. The name Ethiopia is the name of the winners, a symbol of freedom. The solution for the problem of Ethiopia is within Ethiopians themselves. No outside solution can fit. Unity for Ethiopia is a milestone for this very reason. Unity for Ethiopia. Ethiopia prevails. Thanks for staying with us. Don't forget to like, share, post your comments, and subscribe to our channel. These are the ways you can support Ethiopia Today Official to continue producing this and similar content. May God bless Ethiopia and its people. Thanks again.